I don't know. This is what I expected. I thought we'd get off to a faster start in the first half. The Jets are not a good team. Now, it is an NFL team, and you got to take care of business. That doesn't surprise me. We're able to win 29-6. I thought at halftime, I go, man, we're letting them hang in there. It was like 9-6.
Right, it makes you uneasy.
Yeah, I thought, instead of 9-6, 13-6, 17-6, something like that. But, they took care of business when all said and done. I have enough notes like for 3 games. I don't know where to start. It was that much high performance by a number of players and having an impact like we want. We don't know what the future is going to behold as far as monumental Saints players as of late, like the Cam Jordans of the world, Taysom Hill. Cam Jordan surpasses Pro Football Hall of Famer Ricky Jackson. He's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, right. So Cam Jordan's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I'm not talking about Saints. I'm talking about Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think that's where Cam's at. And what more can you say about if this is his last hurrah because of his age? Taysom Hill. A truly unique player, however you describe him. Swiss Army knife, jack of all trades. I was glad that Coach Warnow was aggressive and let him throw that pass at the end. Throw a touchdown pass because he has played quarterback or he wouldn't have over 1,000 yards passing. He ended up with a total yards from scrimmage when you're counting rushing, passing, and receiving. 116 total yards from scrimmage. That's unique. Everyone's saying he's the first player in the Super Bowl era to have 1,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. The only player.
Only player ever.
Well, I'm going to go more than that. He's the last player to do that. I'm not talking about Super Bowl era because I like all of professional football. You got to go back 70 years. The NFL didn't start until 1922. So you could just see that category. Charlie Trippy did it 70 years ago.
Not familiar with the
And that's when you had players going both ways, you know. They wouldn't even get off the field. Oh, the quarterback punts or he do different things. That just shows you the likes of a Taysom Hill. And then I look at DeMario Davis, who was a New York Jet before he became a Saint. And look how consistent he's been. Stevie pulling up
There's a picture of Charlie Trippy with his, basically a cardboard hat over here.
Yeah, you fold it in your back pocket. You don't even have a face mask. Well, that was the last cat to do what Taysom Hill did. So you look at Double D, DeMario Davis, a Jet. He comes to the Saints. Look, for like back-to-back seasons, 125 tackles. The first time that's elite category territory, I should say, with Devontae David, Bobby Wagner. No, that's unbelievable. That means you're always available, so you can be held accountable. Then you produce when you're in the game. Look, it's season 9 straight seasons, over 100 tackles. So no, you can just go on and on and on, and it's good. It's always good when you win, and they should be. They should win. The Jets again. We're sorry, and I'm gonna tell you. Okay, for instance, we're all excited. Oh, Bobby, well, we finally scored 29 points.
It's a miracle.
Okay, look, we got in the high 20s, not low 20s. We were trying to say, can we hit? Now, defense is playing good enough. Can we score in the 20s? Well, I thought we were very capable of doing this. You know why? The Jets were giving up 28.5 a game, and we scored 29. They were 30th in the league in scoring defense. So it's not like, like rocket science. No, this is something we played up to the opponent and not down to them and put it to them. Again, I was not surprised Tyler Shuck did not have an interception because the Jets have now gone 15 games and they don't have an interception. By accident, it seemed like you'd have a pick. Look, this is very positive. It doesn't matter who you play, but when you play him, and it's the NFL, you only play whoever's in front of you. But since that Rams game, the Saints are 4-2. Now, this has to get better next year. And now, taking care of that don't feel advantage. We won 3 home games this season. We're now 6-11 the past 2 seasons. We need to be like 13-4. Maybe at the worst 12-5 at home. And that's how you truly taking care of, and you're going to have that dome field advantage. Now against the Jets, if you look at it, since 19, now the series 9-6, and now 9-2. So it's kind of the NFL is so much parity, and there's a limited sample size of us playing the Jets. It was 8-6.
And like you said, they dominated early in the series.
Yes, we have now 9 wins, 6 losses, but since 1989, 9 wins, 6 losses. Since 1989, we're 9-2. So not so much when the Saints first started playing football.
Right.
But we played good in New York. We're now got a winning record in New Orleans. You go even before Tulane State. We're now 4-3 in NOLA against the Jets. And now we have a 3-game winning streak. The last 3 times we played the Jets, we've beaten them. You got to go back. The last 3-game winning streak was from 85 to 95. So, no, the Jets can't talk smack. They cannot. And then we got our 201st victory in the Superdome. We hit that the 2-century mark, 200 wins. Now we have 200 wins in the Superdome. But when you break it down, no, we were so much better than the Jets. And I think they were playing hard. They're just not very good. I mean, look at first downs, basically 2-1. It wasn't exactly, but they had 12 first downs.
Yeah.
We had 23. To me, that's a terrible game if you don't have at least 14. 14's not very good. But, 12 first downs, that's terrible. We were outstanding, probably for the first time, I could say, on third down offense and defense. Yeah. You win if you do this. They were only 2 of 15. We've been outstanding third down defense throughout the season. They were only 2 of 15. 13%. We were 8 of 17, 47%. That's right around 50. That's outstanding. Total net yards, almost more than 2-1. They had 195. We had 412. Now, we are running by committee. To me, we still both phases. We need to be better overall in running the football and stopping the run. Now, I'm talking about the average. When you look at your average per carry and all that, because coming into the game, remember I told you this needed to be flipped. We were only gaining 3.6 yards a carry and giving up 4.1. Well, today, our defensive average, that's what we need instead of we only gave up 3.2 yards, but then we only averaged 3.4. So that definitely has to get better going forward. We got after the opposing quarterback, actually, because that was not very good. The season's almost over. We only had 28 sacks. Well, we had 8 in one game. Now, they come in bunches. They say sacks in bunches. Well, now we have 36 sacks in the season. If we're going to be with Chase Young and whoever's in there, we truly amongst the best, you got to be high 40s. So we have, right now, we got 36. We got 2 games left. I don't think we're going to get to 48. Then you're amongst the best if you high 40s or low 50s. But a great game today.
Well, if we could get 240, that'd be nice.
Yeah, if we can get to 40, right. It just sounds better, 40 sacks than 30-something sacks.
Exactly.
So we got 2 games opportunity. Definitely do that against the Titans and Atlanta. So 8 sacks. I still think at times Chuck gets sacked too much. And I've talked about that in the pregame and all that. Today, he was sacked 3 times. And I know he's trying to make bigger plays, but a lot of times you got to live to fight the other day, throw the ball away or whatever, because you want to, hang in there. But that's what I think he's going to get better at, throwing the football away or knowing where your outlets are so you don't have to take a sack. This is good. We're trending in the right direction. We were unbelievable. After the Giants game, we were a +5. Then we started going the opposite direction. We're now for the season. Remember one time we were -5. Now we're only -3. We're taking baby steps. We were +1 in the turnover margin. I always say, you play a bad team, whatever, how do you keep them in the game? Yeah, we'd have been -3 against the Jets, or you can't be -3 against the Titans or whoever.
Even -1 against the Jets, they're terrible.
Yeah, you cannot do that. If you look at it, now the Jets are, remember I say you never want to be minus? They're -18 in the turnover margin for the season, which is dead last.
Shocker.
32. But you know what? When you're supposed to beat somebody down like we did, you end up doing it. Look at Charlie Smith, had an opportunity to go 6 for 6, ended up being 5 or 6, but I don't know. They had the distance on the 60-yarder. He just, I think, hooked it a little bit when he drove it. But good for Charlie Smith, boy. Like fantasy people got to like that, huh, Steve?
For sure. 5 kicks today?
Yeah, 5 made field goals. You got to. How did those extra points have? All the points count?
The extra points count as well. Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah, you're getting big time points from Charlie Smith in the playoffs, too, right now in fantasy.
Oh, so, Charlie Smith coming out of nowhere. Coming out of Northern Ireland. Where did he go to college? None. Remember I told you before the game? He went to the same college as Otis Sistrunk. Who's Otis Sistrunk? Bob, you so old. Otis Sistrunk. Remember you look it up, Steve? Otis Sistrunk?
Yeah.
He's the defensive lineman, played with the Raiders. And I never forget, old Howard Cosell used to say, Otis Sistrunk from University of Mars. He just say, invent a university. But I always like when you see all these, where they're from, what school. And then you look at Charlie Smith, what college you went to, they have none. And to play at the highest level, there's not too many players that make it in the NFL going to none university. It just doesn't exist. Yeah, I thought one individual we had to contain. Breece Hall's a stud for them. He had, let's say, Alvin Kamara, what total yards of scrimmage and pass receiving running back and all. He had like 1,223. He was a bright spot for the Jets. Well, you look today, they ran him 16 times. He only averaged 3.4 yards a carry. He had a long gain of 7. And then he only had 9 yards receiving. So you take that because they wanted to get the ball in Breece Hall's hands. So that was outstanding by defense. And again, I like it. I wish we'd run the ball better than 3.4, but they only got 3.2 yard average. Tyler Shuck. Most times when you throw in 49 times, you're playing catch-up, and that's not necessarily good. We threw 50 passes, and we were winning the game the whole time. But I guess trying to take advantage of that Jets secondary.
And I think, too, because the Saints are down to their fourth-string running back.
Yeah, and how are you going to attack a defense? But Tyler Shuck, first 300-yard gain, 308 yards. He threw a touchdown. Taysom Hill threw a touchdown. I thought Cook, when you look at Brady Cook, his quarterback rating was only 65, and he had an interception. Sanker, a young rookie safety, he ended up coming up with an interception. So that was outstanding. Again, Taysom Hill, this is his last hurrah in a Saints uniform, 116 total yards, and truly made plays running the football with his arm and pass receiving. Now, the one thing the Jets were outstanding, and I don't know why we kicked it to them. They had a 42-yard kick return. Well, why are we? Because that's sometimes in some games that's been the best Jets offense is their punt return or their kickoff return offense. So when I saw that, and the reason why, they had the number one kick return unit in the whole NFL. The only thing they did number one, and they had the 8 punt return. Well, I think we did an outstanding job in the punting game, but we had 6 touchbacks with that one return, went for 42 yards, and that they were number one, like I said, in the NFL. Looking on the defensive side, good for Justin Reed, coming back, our veteran safety from Dutchtown, Stanford grad. A local boy, 9 total tackles, led the team in total tackles. Demario Davis, he's always around 10. He was right under that with 8. Alontae Taylor, an outstanding, very productive game. 7 total tackles. He led the team in unassisted tackles with 5. He had a sack. He had a quarterback hurry. He had a tackle for loss. You know what? He needs to do that. It's hard to say. Bobby, why do you think he needs to do that every game? Because he's the alpha. He's our top dog in that back end in the secondary, I think, in the future. So we need Alontae Taylor at that high level. Sanker, like I said, the safety. He had interceptions. He led the team with 2 passes defended. Cam Jordan, I don't know. We need to talk to Mickey Loomis until somebody beats him out. Why Cam Jordan can't be on the team next year? And you know what? If he's not on the team, you know why? Too much money. It's not because he can't play. Cam Jordan can still play.
Right.
Look at the whole league. If you're in that rotation, Cam Jordan ends up with 4 tackles unassisted, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hurries, 3 tackle for a loss. Cam Jordan still has a lot left in the tank.
Seems like he's really liking this adjustment to Brandon Staley's scheme.
Yes. And then you look at a guy that is young and we counting on as Chase Young.
Right.
He ends up getting a sack. I think he needs. I think Deuce and Hoss might have said, he's a half a sack away from having his most in his season. So he should be able to get that, maybe a couple of sacks. Remember I told you in training camp, that dude's going to get double-digit sacks, but then he missed 5 games at the beginning of the year. So that's very up. He had a sack. He had a quarterback hurry, tackle for loss, also fumble recovery. A nose for the football to get around it. You know who's an unsung hero? Well, I'm going to talk about these two guys, too. Chris Rump. He's the only on the team because of Brandon Staley, because Brandon Staley trusts him, but it seems like he always produces. He ended up with a sack, quarterback hurry, tackle for loss. And the one guy that doesn't want to talk to the media, Steve, did we ever get to interview him or not? Nathan Shepard.
I feel like once.
Once?
When he first arrived last year.
And the Saints, they tell Nathan Shepard, no, if you don't want to talk to the media, you don't have to. Like, usually they tell the players, no, it's part of your job. It's a requirement.
Yeah.
You got to be able to talk to the media.
And I think if someone requested, hey, I'd like to speak to him, it would be made available. They're not, like, hiding him for any reason.
Well, he needs to talk because he produces. He's one of our best interior guys. Look, he comes up with a sack. He had 2 quarterback hurries tied with Cam Jordan. He had a tackle for loss. And he's just constantly, Stevie, just putting up numbers. And you look how he produced today. Well, the unsung hero, you look at Nathan Shepard coming into the game. Well, now he has 3 sacks. He has, let me see, so he has 6 tackles for loss. And I should say 5 tackles for loss, 12 quarterback hurries. So a high-effort guy that I think we could count on year in and year out. But a lot of players stepping up for the Saints. We could have given out a lot of game balls.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I don't know, who's the player? You know, when they don't play well, who's the player in the game? I don't know. Give it to the fans. No, now we could have given out 2 handfuls of game balls. Considering when we're dealing with offensive line.
I was asking you, I was tempted to give it to Shuck just because he had a 300-yard game.
Yeah, Shuck had his first 300-yard game. Chris Olave was outstanding.
But you made a good point about Taysom. This might be the last time we see him in the Dome.
Yes, because he's old and he makes a lot of money. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And I told you, you could have given to Shuck or Chris Olave.
Right.
But no, we need them to do this a bunch of times. They're going to have a bunch of times to get the game ball. Yeah, to get that award. But looking at Chris Olave, targeted a lot. Without Villet in there, 16 targets, 10 catches. He probably could have had a couple of more catches. He could have maybe been hovering around 200 yards receiving, had 148. He had a long gain of 38, couple of touchdowns. He could have maybe had 3 touchdowns. Juwan Johnson, I think, is definitely being more reliable as the season has progressed. You catch the ball, hit your hands, don't fumble it. He had 9 targets, 8 catches, right at 90 yards, 89 yards, very productive. So those are guys that we're counting on. And Steve, I had said this in the pregame, and I want to give them their props because, I get on their ass when they're not doing it because much is given, much is required. Chris Olave wants to get paid the big bucks, wants to be the number 1 receiver. Well, you got to have these kind of games, and you got to finish the season strong. And a lot of fans don't realize this, but when you look at, the top receivers, 3rd down reception leaders in the whole National Football League this season. Chris Olave on 3rd down, how the quarterbacks have trusted him, came into the game 4th in the NFL with 23 ahead of Jamar Chase, or tied with Jamar Chase, ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown with the Lions. Christian McCaffrey, that's all household names. Only 2nd to St. Brown in touchdowns. So then you look at Juwan Johnson, among the best tight ends. Sometimes we're not showing him any love, but he's number 8 in the NFL in both receptions and receiving yards. If you look at, he's ahead of Brock Bowers in receptions, right under Tyler Warren. And you look at receiving yards, he's up there with, Brock Bowers, the Tyler Warren, Kyle Pitts.
Another big day for him, 9 targets, 8 grabs.
Yes, and right at like 89 yards.
Right.
So, those guys are going to have way more opportunities down the road to win a game ball. So, that's what we need, that kind of production. But I thought Taysom, in his production, 116 total yards, rushing, passing, and receiving, giving them that. But a big Saints win today, 29-6, and it wasn't even that close. It wasn't even that close. And now we got to go to Nashville and take care of business.